Welcome to the Arsenal Show. We are live. And I'm joined by my two co-hosts, Steve K. How you doing, Steve?
Yeah, I'm good, mate. How you doing, Kieran?
I'm good. And how you doing, Jerome?
Yeah, all fine, thanks.
Good. So, last week we spoke about the Liverpool game and Simon was actually saying how let's just get through this game. Let's just come out this game so we can compete in the next one. And Arsenal put a valiant effort in and managed to get a 0-0 draw away from home. And it seems like Arsenal are in their pomp. They've got the game on Thursday, the second leg. What do you feel the chances are, Steve? What do you feel the chances are come Thursday evening up against Liverpool at home?
I was thinking about this before we come on tonight because I knew that'd be your first question. And to be honest with you, do you know what? I don't know. But do you know what as well? To come on here and say I don't know fills me with a little bit of broadens my shoulders a little bit, because in the past normally I would have come on and said, oh no, we've got no chance, we're going to get hammered 4-0, 5-0, 3-0. But I don't feel that way at the moment. I feel that whatever team we put out, we will give it our all. No matter what team he picks. I'm pretty confident of that, but it's going to be tough. I've got no qualms about that whatsoever. We've played them at Anfield. We know what they're all about. Now we're taking them back to the carpet. We're taking them back with our fans, and they'll be behind them all the way. And am I confident of a victory? I don't know. I don't know. It's going to be tough. This is Liverpool, and I just think at the moment I'm just happy to be confident that we can come out with a win. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to it. I don't know if I'll be looking forward to it, by the time the kickoff and he blows that whistle and I'll look at the clock and it will say 1 minute 50 seconds, and I think, oh God, is that? It seems like it's been going on for ages, and he blew up for the final whistle yet.
Yeah. So where's the way?
That's how it's getting lately. But confident, happy at the situation we're in, and looking forward to it.
All right. Before we go on, please hit that subscribe button. If you're watching on any of the other platforms, come over to KS1 TV and smash that subscribe button. Come and join us in the chat. Have your say on how you think Arsenal will get on in the cup and how you think they're getting on so far in the transfer market with no ins but plenty of outs. Always a silver lining. Jerome, how good were the fans last week? I mean, it felt like at one point I couldn't even hear Liverpool fans.
Yeah, I know. I think, like I said, my brother was at the game. Travelled up from London. And loved it. And I think the fans are going to be a massive thing for us on Thursday night. I think there's a real sort of togetherness, I think, at the moment with the Arsenal fans, whether it's because people have been having a pop at us calling the Spurs game or asking for the Spurs game to be postponed, or just with, like I said last time, with us feeling a bit hard done by with certain things. And I think they're going to be so up for the game, the players and the fans, and they could have a big impact in terms of the outcome of the game. And it's I wish I was going to it, because I think it's going to be an amazing night. Yeah,
the atmosphere is surely going to be electric. I think every Arsenal fan down there is going to feel like they've got a chance to take on Liverpool and come out with a victory. Surely, yeah.
Yeah, definitely. Like, no, you should feel like you've got a chance in every game, but you're playing Liverpool without their most dangerous two players.
Yeah.
So you've got a chance anyway, and now you've definitely got a chance. It's probably a 50-50 game, I reckon, on Thursday night. I wouldn't say that we're favourites. I wouldn't say that they're favourites. It 50-50.
So, Steve, you saw what Arsenal did with 10 men. Although they did that with 10 men last time, is there still a worry about the team they're going to potentially have to put out? It's still going to be a weakened team. There's still a worry there.
Yeah. I mean, this take, like you said, that was a special performance that they did, the boys, and I think every Arsenal fan should look at that performance and not take it lightly, if that's the right word, and realise how big a performance that was. But look, this make no mistake that it's when you get special performances, it's very difficult for them to continue those performances again and again and again. You might get those performances, say 3 or 4 or 5 times a season, and we may have to pull one of those out again. So we're going to be players out still. So we're going to have to ask those players that performed against Anfield. We've got to ask them to do again. Yes, we're going to have 11 men this time, but you know as well as I do that doesn't mean anything. It doesn't matter for some reasons. Sometimes when you've got 10 men, you seem to find an extra 2 men to make it that you've got 12 men. And we've already spoken about the fans that night, which sort of give us that extra man. But it's going to be difficult. It's going to be hard. We're still going to have players out. We're still unsure of what type of team he's going to pick. We all know now that he'll go as strong as possible because he hasn't got no choice. But look, this is Liverpool. It's going to be tough. It's going to be worrying. And for me, if we come out and we're in the final of the League Cup by 10 o'clock Thursday night, I believe that our players would have had to have done an absolute one of those performances that we see like the week before at Anfield.
Yeah, definitely. Jerome, Ben White got a lot of praise in that game for his performance. Colossus, they said. Organisational. Are you seeing a player progressing well at Arsenal? Are you seeing him turn into a better player?
Yeah, definitely. I think we can all see it. I think just coming into a new team anyway, to expect him to come in and hit the ground running straight away, it's a bit much. It's a bit of a reach. But he's halfway through his first season, and I think all Arsenal fans, I know we haven't got loads of centre backs to choose from, but I'm sure every Arsenal fan is happy with Ben White in terms of his performances. And he's only going to get better because of his age. You can some players you can just tell that they're decent and they're going to get better. And I think Ben White's one of those players. And he's touch wood, he stayed fit, stayed healthy, and he's gonna have a really good game on Thursday night for us to get a positive result out of the game.
Yeah,
but no, he's been quality. There's pressure joining a big club like Arsenal, isn't there?
Yeah.
Like, Arsenal fans, we're quite quick to get on players' backs. So it could have gone, wrong for him after the first game, perhaps, when maybe he wasn't at his best. But fair play to him. He's been brilliant, and very, very happy with that signing.
Jerome made a good point there when he said that it's taken him half a season for him to get, into his stride, if you like. And I think that shows what a good player he is. Because normally we talk about how it takes at least a year, to get into their stride, when they come to a new club. Jerome's just said there, this is taking him not even half a season, and we're starting to think of him as an Arsenal regular and possibly Arsenal captain in the future. So big up to him.
Yeah, definitely. Steve, where would you say you think he's progressed since since that first day of the season?
Yeah, I just think. Do you know what that was? I think that was just a bad day at the office because ever since that day, as far as I'm concerned, he's been mostly a 7 out of 10 every performance. He's brought things to Arsenal's defence that that we haven't seen for a long while, and that's mainly to do with with his ball when he's got the ball at his feet and bringing it out to play. We haven't seen that for a long while. His passing range, the way he sort of. Okay, we haven't got the most mobile centre of the park, but we've got a centre half now who can just sort of hit 30, 40-yard balls into feet, and we've not had that for years. I dare say someone will name one, and there probably is one, but to have that regularly, we come on here talking after every post match, and we're saying, God, what that ball from White, that ball from White, and look, taking away all that, the blocks. We talk about the blocks, the throwing himself in front of the goal. So it's not all about him as a with the ball at his feet. We can be impressed by that as a bonus, but it's not. Make no mistake, he's an excellent defender, and I think Jerome said the other week with Gabriel that we're glad to. We're so lucky to have him, but again, I think we can say that about Ben White.
Yeah, Jerome. Steve was just saying there about his defending. Do you think that goes unnoticed? Because a lot of the time I hear about Gabriel is the one that's cleaning up. Gabriel is the colossus, the beast of a defender, and Ben White's the pretty floaty, fairy one. But do you think that's a fair assumption, or do you think that Ben White puts it about as well?
Oh yeah, he does get stuck in, Ben White, but I think with Gabriel it's more sort of visible, isn't it? It's more like obvious on the eye that he uses his strength a lot more. But Ben White I think he has his like individual moments when he stands out. Like Steve said, he'll play a good ball or put a good block in. But I think it's just like a very good fit for what that defense needs. And being able to sort of build up from the back. A lot of our attacks, like the ball starts with our goalie and then it goes to one of our defenders. And so they've got to be so comfortable on the ball and be able to either spray a long ball or play it short or even dribble out of defence. He's got a lot of options, Ben White. What he can do when he gets the ball, he's got a lot of tools at his disposal. He can dribble past someone. He can hit a long ball with either foot. He can play it short. So it sort of mixes up our game a bit. And that's needed rather than having a centre-back that can't play at all or is very limited in terms of what they can do when they get the ball. And so the options that he's got really helps this team. And he just fitted in so well.
Is there anyone out there that you could compare him to that is a similar style of play?
It's very tricky. Thinking off the top of my head,
even old school.
I'll tell you who would probably do a similar job if he played centre back, and he did play centre back a little bit. Was maybe Declan Rice, maybe being very comfortable on the ball, being able to do all those things that we mentioned before. But he's not your typical centre back, Ben White.
He's not, is he? He's not.
So it's hard.
It's hard to
compare.
Very hard.
It'll probably come later on in the chat.
Maybe David Luiz, possibly
similar.
But I feel a lot more comfortable with Ben White for some reason when he
He's
does
not
it.
as erratic. He's not as erratic.
That's the perfect word. He's not as erratic as.
I think we saw
David
a calmer
Luiz.
David Luiz towards the end, which is why we started to be a bit like, oh, actually, David Luiz has actually done all right for us. We saw a calmer. At first, it was that David Luiz, red cards sent off, penalties everywhere. Final season, it was like, actually, we're missing David Luiz. You bought Ben White.
Yeah.
Whoa.
It's hard.
Is
So
he?
I'll just say one thing just very quickly. Obviously, Ghana are playing tonight, and they're losing 2-0. With half an hour to go, and they got a man sent off. So it looks like party.
He'll be back.
Let's all cheer for Ghana. Let's all cheer for Ghana for the comeback.
Is there a flight tonight?
Yeah.
Leaving free throw.
Yay! Come on, Ghana. Come on, Ghana. That's all you're gonna get from me. That's all you're gonna get from me. That's all you're gonna get. Steve, is he the 50 million price tag? Is he warranted that 50 million price tag now?
Yeah, I think so. I totally think so. There was some people who doubted it, and did I doubt it? It was a lot of money, but for me, as I've said quite a few times, I've watched him a lot. Not knowing that he was coming to Arsenal. When he was at Leeds and when he was at Brighton, and for some reason I just took him in as a defender that I like. So when he was coming to Arsenal, I was like, "Wow, yeah, great." And I think he's well worth the 50 million. And the reason why I say that is I just feel if he isn't the complete defender already, he will become the complete defender because he has everything. He's got everything. I just went through all the things that he has in his game. Mm-hmm. So when you've got a defender that has got all that, you've got to pay for that. And Van Dijk hasn't got that. There's elements in Van Dijk's game that White's better at. He doesn't bring the ball out. I mean, I might be mistaken, but I don't see him doing it that often. Don't see him every now and then a little good ball, but White does it just consistently, every single week. Mm-hmm. But the 50 million pound, we needed someone like him desperately. Mm. And sometimes, Kieran, sometimes you have to pay that bit more, didn't you? For someone to, if there might be a player, he might be 35. If you go on transfer market, you might see 35 million there. It's saying it's worth, but he might be worth another 50 million to you because he's what we need to go in that position.
Yeah. Not season where it could potentially get more supers and. Not in 6 months in January when his price tag's gone up another 20 million. Now.
I'll tell you what's going to happen. I'll tell you what's going to happen as well is that other clubs moving forward, when they come to look at centre backs, I reckon what they're going to be saying is, who can we sign that's like Ben White? I think that's what they'll be saying. I don't think they'll be saying who can we sign that's like a Harry Maguire type of player. I think they'll be more looking at. I think Ben White is. I know we're praising him quite a lot here, but it's well deserved. But I think that's where football's going, isn't it? You need these centre backs that are comfortable on the ball. If a lot of coaches now want to build up from the back, you need to have someone that can do that. So I think he's sort of setting the bar for the modern day centre back.
Is he more important than Gabriel? Do you think?
No, I was just about to say. I think it's important that we have the balance. So for too long, we've wanted defenders because we've had defenders that done a similar style to Ben White. Maybe not we had a Vermaelen who would run out, or we had a Koscielny who could play, or we had a certain other defender who could do this. But he's one that encapsulates it all, which is good. But what he has with Gabriel is invaluable. It's and they're building up this partnership, which is like it's like a game to them. It's like their own team. That's what I like. The fact that they get joy from winning a tackle and blocking a shot and blocking a goal. That's for them is a goal. I see an interview where they said that's their goal. Is that when they stop a block, that's why they cheer, because that's like them scoring a goal for them. And they egg each other on. And that's what's good. I've been in teams where you egg each other on and you know where you're going to be. And you come out and someone's in behind you to clear it off. Like, when you have that, you just feel comfortable and you can do them extra things. You're not worrying about someone else being out of position because you know they're going to be there. That's what I see when I see those two.
Definitely.
Do England team, and who does he take out? Because that can't be too far away with the performances he's been putting in and some of the other defenders that have been put in for England. I know Gareth Southgate likes to stick to his team, but we've seen Tyrone Mings, who's had an up and down season. We've had Harry Maguire, who's been stinking out the place at Old Trafford. Does he push for the England team, and who does he knock out?
If it's me, I think he's. I think if he ain't in the next England team, he ain't too far away, because it's like you said. Harry Maguire's been awful this season. Tyrone Mings just is not better than Ben White, in my opinion. Not by an absolute long shot. Not by a long. And I'm sure Gareth Southgate knows that, surely. But yeah, I can't. He's definitely England material, and I just don't. I think he'll be a regular for England, for a very, very long time. As we've just said, we've just lauded him there, and we've told him all the things he's got. Now, if we decide, if we put, let's say, well, okay, now, let's put him up against Harry Maguire, let's put him up against Tyrone Mings, and as what is their ability, in passing the ball, blocking, tackling, pace. In what order do you put them as first, second, and third? Well, surely White's first. I mean, he has to be first, and I can't. I think he's inches away from being an England regular, and again, possible captain in the future, because I just feel he's got that about him. And England all day. England all day.
Yeah, Jerome, how far do you think he's off of being a more of an England regular, and who does he take out the team?
That's a very good question, and if it was based on just performances for their club, it'd probably be quite a straightforward answer, because Maguire's been poor for his club, really, and Ben White's been great. But the manager of England is very loyal to his players, and it's a little bit like the goalkeeping situation, where Pickford has been very good for England, and I think he could be horrific for Everton. But because he's been good for England, I think Southgate will stick with him. And I think it's the same with the centre-backs. If Maguire and Stones, if they're the first choice, are playing well for England, I think it's going to be hard, as well as Ben White plays, it's going to be hard for Ben White to nudge one of those out the team. I think with other areas of the pitch, he seems to have changed up a bit more, Southgate. But with that defence and the goalie, he doesn't really seem to change any of them, really. So I think it's going to be probably harder than what most of us probably think it would be, based on that, based on how loyal Southgate is to his players.
It may take a bit longer than we think, but if he has like a full maybe season and a half of consistency about that time, I mean, I think it gets to the point where you can't ignore the form. You can't ignore how well these players are playing, and it'll be a detriment to your team if you're going to start playing players on loyalty over a player that's so consistency over a long span of a long period of time. Surely, the thing is, if they're playing well for England, I don't think he'll drop them. That's what I'm saying, and I think that he's got more chance of replacing John Stones, because maybe John Stones isn't as much of a regular for his club. So I think that's his chance, and obviously he's playing on the right hand side because Maguire seems to play on the left for England. I'd say he's got more chance of taking over Stones' place than Maguire's. Ben White, great start to his Arsenal career. Another player that was speaking about one of Arsenal players is Hector Bellerin. He was saying how he's been impressed with Tomiyasu and he says he watches every game. He says he's loving how Arsenal are playing so far this season. He's a fan. You got to love that. But how important would it be to have Tomiyasu back on Thursday? I don't know if he's going to be back, but how important would he be if he was to get him back?
Yeah, I think with Tomiyasu, we haven't got a replacement really on that right hand side that we're comfortable with. I mean, Cedric and Chambers do a job on their day. And to be fair, I think Chambers had a nightmare this season against, who was it? might have been Man City. I don't know, or Liverpool one. I don't know who he played against. But apart from that, Chambers ain't let us down. But they're not. He's not a right back, and Cedric is. I don't know. He's too injury prone. It's very important that we have him back because those two players, as well as they play every now and then, they haven't got what Tommy Ashew's got. We didn't know, when Tommy Ashew come in, we wasn't too sure what we was going to get.
Mm-hmm.
In the first game, we wasn't too sure, but as games started to go forward, we started to see that we had a right back who, similar to Ben White, had hit the ground, had a bit of a nightmare against Brentford, and then from then on, just sort of hit the ground running. And again, we've got a right back there who's got everything, and and whether I think it helps with him playing next to Ben White. I think they're a good little partnership with Ben White and Tommy Ashley playing on that side.
Mm-hmm.
I think they help each other. I see them talk to each other a lot. I don't know if Ben White's, what is he, Chinese? I don't know, learning a bit of Chinese or something. I don't know.
Ben White's learning Portuguese, Japanese.
Yeah, it wouldn't surprise me.
Gaelic.
But Tommy Ashew's got, again, he's got everything in his locker. We talk about it a lot. He's a right back who's come in and he's got respect for nobody. He's got no respect for anybody. He don't care who's up against, and 9 times out of 10 he comes out, on top.
Yeah.
He had one dodgy game against Brighton, but everybody has one dodgy game against someone. But he's got the lot. He's an excellent defender. He's fantastic going forward, strong in the tackle. I don't know. I'll tell you what. You could argue who's the better fullback with Tommy Ashew and Tierney. There's an argument there to say which one's better. But who cares? They're both Arsenal players. We're not into who's better than the other one. But I think to say that, after when he first came in and none of us, actually knew who he was or what we was going to get, to start talking about him in the same breath as Kieran Tierney just tells you, again, similar to Ben White, that the guy's done fantastic in his first half of his career at Arsenal.
Yeah, definitely. Something that Johnny says here, I honestly think the mentality of the individuals recruited has been just as important as that, and that's why Ben White has been worth 50 million. Little touching on what Johnny says there. How much of a difference is the mentality of the back five made in Arsenal's team so far this season, Jerome? If you look at the players there, the individuals, you've got Tommy Ashew, you've got Ben White, you've got Gabriel, you've got Kieran Tierney, Aaron Ramsdale. How integral has that been to Arsenal's way they're playing now?
Yes, their attitude's brilliant, isn't it? Like, that's what it is. It's their attitude. They're all very likable as well. Like, you ask any fan. Sometimes you have players that maybe you don't like, but all these recent signings, especially, they're all very likable. And I think a part of that is because you can see that they take their job at Arsenal very, very seriously indeed.
Mm-hmm.
And they've built like a good sort of relationship with the fans as well. That's been quite important, especially with the goalie.
Mm-hmm.
Tierney obviously goes without saying, but yeah, you can tell they're all like, you can tell there'd be no trouble like in a dressing room. They wouldn't cause any drama. And yeah, that's massive. That's massively important. So yeah, I think it's all about the attitude for me.
It is.
I think you can. Mentality is massive because just quickly and just to rubber stamp, the mentality at Manchester United, for instance, is absolute awful.
Mm-hmm.
They seem to play when they want, not play when they want. And Arsenal had that for a little while under Emery. They just seemed to. There was players there who was stinking out the place, seemed to be playing. Whenever they felt like it, and not naming names. I probably don't have to, But yeah, mentality in a player, to have them just going out there, whether they don't go out there and you think, well, we're short today, we've only got 4 players. They just go out there, and it seems to me, whoever they're up against, they fancy themselves. And I think they're all mates, and they're all of the same age, which I think helps.
Yeah.
They're all laughing and joking on the training ground, and it's great to see.
Yeah. How impressive you've been with the reaction, though, that they've had a heavy defeat against Liverpool. They had two defeats against Manchester United and Everton, where there was a section of the fans getting onto the back against an Everton team who couldn't buy a win, let alone a goal, and they managed to get 2 past us. And then a crushing loss against Man City where we played better. How good's the reaction been after those games?
Yeah, I mean, it was never, very, very good indeed. But we're forgetting, like, this season, it was never going to be like all plain sailing. Like, I'm sure everyone knew and imagined that, cliche is going to be like bumps in the road, and it's going to be tough. It's like a brand new team we've got. Like, you look at the team when Arteta first came in, it's just totally different. But that's what you want to see, isn't it? You want to see when there's those difficult times that the players stick together, the fans get behind them, the manager's very strong in his beliefs, and it's really promising for the future.
Yeah, definitely. So let's have a quick, before we move on to the transfers, have a look at this. Now, if I would have asked you at the start of the season, in January the 18th, if you would have taken this 2 games in hand on West Ham and 2 points behind them in 5th spot, you'd have bitten the hand off at the start of the season, wouldn't you, Steve?
Yeah, without any shadow of a doubt. I mean, it's just great. And do you know what's even better is to look at that table, to look where we are, and then to think and not worry about that. We can digress and fall apart. I don't believe that. I really believe now that this team will go on and on and on and on. I can't see Emil Smith-Rowe. Emil Smith-Rowe's not, playing, over himself. Saka isn't. Martinelli isn't. White isn't. Gabriel, Tommy. They're at the top of their game. They're not going to digress. They're not going to go back. If anything, these people, these are all going to improve. Partey's getting better now. I think he's going to go only forward. Last few games we've seen him go forward. And that's what's exciting about looking at that table. Sometimes I've looked at league tables and we're 4th and we're 5th or we're 6th and we're 7th. We thought, yeah, okay. But then you look at the team and you think, and other people have said it. They've got so-and-so coming up. Oh, they've got so-and-so coming up. They've got so-and-so coming up. They're gonna end up being 9th, 8th. I don't hear no one saying that now. I don't hear it. I only hear people saying Arsenal this is for Arsenal's to lose. Arsenal are better than West Ham. Arsenal are better than Tottenham. Arsenal are better than Manchester United. There's something happening at Arsenal. They get a centre forward, they get a midfielder. That's it, rubber stamped. Champions League. They're on, and they will get better and better and better. And then and because of these players, will get better and better and better. They will attract other players, whether it be January, whether it be in the summer. And that's the good thing, Kieran, to look at that and to know that you can get better and not look at the fixtures and think, oh, we've got to hang on here. Might be a bit dodgy towards the end of the season. Don't feel like that at all. I feel like, yeah, let's go and get that third. Let's go and get third. Chelsea's struggling at the minute. Let's do it. If we play like the way we've been playing recently, and that's an hard ask when you've got young kids and you've got a new team. Because I still expect the odd knockback. I still expect to come on here and think, oh, that was a bit of a bad day today, wasn't it? I still expect that. But still, to know that you can come back after defeats. You mentioned the defeats, a little while ago, and to know that you can think, forget that defeat. put it in the bin, come out and win the next one. And that's exactly what we've done. And that's what we want.
Yeah. Jerome, is there anyone that worries you? Is Arsenal worry you for that top 4 spot? Is there a sense of real belief that we can take that now?
Oh, to coin a famous phrase from our past, it's up for grabs, isn't it? Mm-hmm. It's well up for grabs.
Yeah.
And yeah, you're looking at our fixtures now, and you're thinking that's winnable, as opposed to thinking, well, that's a tricky game. I think like it's just there's been a bit of a change in the mood and a change in the confidence. And before, maybe we might have thought, 4th place is a bit unrealistic, but now it's like it's well within reach. It's really possible. Mm-hmm. It's not like we're 10 points behind and we got to claw back a lot of points. Like we're well in there for that. And I think if we can make, I know you might comment it too soon, if we can make a couple of signings to give us an even better chance, then it's on. It's well on.
Yeah, I'll get onto that in a sec. Yeah, do you know what? I was thinking the other day, although we've are yet to win in 2022, we've lost 2 and drawn 1. And there's still that massive hype train and self-belief.
Don't feel like that.
It doesn't feel like that. But I was thinking the other day, I had to look over my shoulder and make sure no one was listening, but I was thinking, we can do this. Like, not just we can do this, but the first time the other day, I thought to myself, there's no one in that we're going to play this season that I feel like I'm worried about taking points of us that's going to hinder us in the top 4. I'm looking at Tottenham and I'm like, if we beat them, or if we can get a draw against them, we get top 4. Like the belief that we've taken out of 2 losses or 1 draw or 1 loss is unbelievable. We lost to Man City in the 94th minute, took them to the end. They had everything, and then we had 10 men. And then we drew against the Liverpool team with 10 men as well. Again, the self-belief there will just have us riding high. Yeah, bring on the Tottenham game, because I just feel like Ramsdale summed it up the other day when he said, "We're fearless. We're a young team. We're fearless. We're not scared of anyone." And that was like, yeah, like that's what you want to hear. You want to hear your players say that. Like you want to believe it when you see him playing. Like you see Saka, you see Emil Smith-Rowe, you see what Ramsdale does when he's got the ball at his feet. You see Ben White running out of defence. You see Gabriel wanting to take on everyone and just get him into a ball and just drop kick him out the stadium. Like you see that and you feel like they've got that self-belief and that fearlessness. But when you hear a player say it, that's when it's real. That's when it's real. And that's like, for me, I'm like, it's so exciting right now to be an Arsenal fan. I've not felt this way in a long, long time. And long may it continue, because it's it feels like we're going up and up and up, which is good. Yeah.
Give me goose pimples there, Kears.
That did. Right, slow
you should
down.
do a speech there.
Don't worry, I'll clip it, Steve. I'll clip it, mate. Another thing. So we're going to go into transfers quickly before we do go. Arsenal brought back Miguel Azeez. Is there anything in that would say to you, Steve, that Arsenal are just going to bring back what they can, for fear that they won't actually bring anyone in the transfer window? Because it seems like the deals that they're sort of muted about, the Vajovic one's has gone a bit cold, where the agent wants him to stay. Vajovic looking like he's going to be there till the end of the season, so we're going to have a bit of a bidding war. The Arthur Melo seems to have died down a bit, where Juventus haven't really got a replacement in to sanction that deal. And all of a sudden, Miguel Azeez comes back, and John Jules comes back from Blackpool. Should we be looking at that thinking Arsenal aren't going to bring anyone in?
I think you I think you do have to look at a little bit like that, and also you've also got to look at. I mean, I'm not into conspiracy theories or anything like that, but with Aubameyang coming back from Gabon, and I'm always like thinking there's something into something. Are we bringing Aubameyang back? Really, because we're going to need him, and we can't get the centre forward that we was hoping that we was going to get. On the other hand, does it mean that we need Aubameyang back because there's something happening with Vlahovic, and we need Aubameyang back to have a chat with him because maybe he has to be moved on and someone wants to buy? I don't know. We need to loan him. Don't know. Could be many of things. But yeah, I mean, bringing players back is a little bit of a worry, and you think the only reason why you do bring players back is if you need them, and that's as simple as that, really. And that's what they're doing. They're bringing a few players back because we may need them. On the same sort of side of the coin, we could look at it, on the back that he's just playing safe, and or something like that, because he has moved players out, and it seems a bit weird if you're moving players out and you're loaning players out, and at the same time, and you're short in those areas. So that you could look at it from that point of view. But bringing players back is, you have to look at it like that. But there could be one reason, Kieran, like what you said there. But there could be other reasons,
Yeah, I know, but there's always that worry. Jerome,
yeah,
you said that Arsenal would, if they was to bring in a couple of reinforcements, it would sort of add a bit more to that top four push. Do you think Arsenal could do it without that?
Oh no, I don't think so. I think they need someone, whether it be someone else in midfield or someone else to score a few goals. I think they need someone else, because I think what has been shown to us in recent weeks is once you take a couple of players out of our starting 11, it changes things a lot, and that is why I think they got to bring a couple of people in. Even if they do, obviously it's not guaranteed, but if you want to give yourself the best chance, and we've got a good chance now of doing it, like a really great chance, and the fact that we've let a couple of squad players go just means obviously our squad numbers wise is weaker, and we got to strengthen it. I'm hoping that the reason they've let some players go is that they know what's coming, and that's what and hopefully that will be the case. But we will see, as they say.
Maitland-Niles was a funny one. See,
it was a weird one, wasn't it? Especially considering a couple of days after we cancelled the game against Spurs, and the position that we needed mainly was a central midfielder. And we loaned out a central midfielder to Roma. No matter what people may think of his ability or his attributes, he's a central midfielder, and he was an England international. So to loan him out and then turn around to Tottenham and say we're postponing the game, you can understand why they might have been a bit miffed.
Yeah. There's a load of different, scenarios going on today, and it's still possible that Mellor and Vlahovic could come in. I've spoken to people today, and it's not dead. It seems that there's a lot of games going on. I've spoken to some quite, some big journalists that are in the know, and they're saying that this wouldn't be going on this long unless this was something. Arsenal would be dismissed it by now. Florentino would have dismissed it by now if there wasn't something. It would have. Vlahovic would have just come out and said no. The agent would have said no, but they haven't done that. They're keeping quiet. There was the thing last night with Vlahovic and the waving of the goodbye, which I must have watched about 20 times. I'm trying. Is that a goodbye, or is he saying?
Or was it not because he missed that penalty and it was by Panenka? So it was like
Well, yeah.
You know what I mean? Everyone in the stadium probably wanted to give him a fucking kick up the backside because
it could be. It could be. But, someone called Nicky Bandini, who's a very good Italian.
Don't tell me he's a body reading expert.
No. He's big in Florentine and knows Vlahovic. They've said that that's not the type of thing he does. He doesn't come out. Someone when you've just scored a goal and you're winning 6-0, you don't come out after you scored a goal and put your hands up and do that. And he looked generally upset in that clip. But look, this wait and see. Arsenal we can't ever go at Arsenal this time. One thing about we can't. People saying, "Oh, Arsenal have done everything that they can." They've put the money on the table. Whatever it costs, Arsenal will pay for Vlahovic, and that's the same with anybody that comes in January, because they recognise, like something you said a little while ago, that this is Champions League. These are the Champions League players. Yeah. And you get in the Champions League, that pays in 2 years. That pays for Vlahovic and Mella. So, and all this thing about that Vlahovic wants to play in the Champions League. There's a lot of other reasons he wants. He wants a good coach. He wants a project. He wants a team that are going to go forward. And if I'm a centre forward and I'm looking at the Premiership, there's only one place I want to go.
Yeah. Could this potentially be anything in trying to get something done? Maybe not in January, but at the end of the season with a handshake or a pre-contract?
Well, pre-contracts are normally done, when he's got, the following year. The following January when he's got 6 months left. Vlahovic's got 18 months from now. Yeah. So unless there's a gentleman's agreement, then that's always possible. But Arsenal want him now. They want to pay the money now. Fiorentina are just it's done between Arsenal and Fiorentina. It's done, finished. That's done. That part. That part. It's just, even if they're even going to pay the agents bonus fees, which is absolutely extortionate. If it wasn't for the agent, he'd be an Arsenal player already. But Fiorentina want the money now because they don't know what the situation's going to be in 6 months' time. He might have when it comes to the summer, he might have an injury. He might have an ACL. He might not be. His price tag might have gone down or something because he's not on form. Then we've seen Harry Kane, haven't we? Look how his price tag went down for a bit.
Plummeted,
didn't it? It just plummeted, didn't it? Yeah. So that could happen to Harry Kane. It can happen to Vlahovic. I compare the two quite similarly, and in the way they play. But so the Fiorentina want their money now, and so it suits Arsenal and Fiorentina for now, and in a way, it should suit Vlahovic because, as I say, if he's got an ACL in 6 months, he's going to wish he went in January.
Yeah, definitely. Jerome, we spoke about the ownership before when there was the interviews with Sky, and I know, Steve, you said you were still a bit wary. Is it time to start believing in KSE and that they are backing the manager now?
Yeah, you'd like to think so, especially if something big does happen in January. That's like even more of a positive sign in terms of the owners. I think we've got to maybe stop being so skeptical, and they backed Arteta in the summer. I think I saw some. I don't know if this is related, but I saw we were very, very heavily linked with Emerson Royal, the Spurs right back, and everything was sort of agreed. And Arteta said, "No, like I don't. Yeah. This isn't the guy I want. I want Tomiyasu." And I think I think that he's not been perfect, Arteta, and he's made plenty of mistakes, but maybe we got to start believing. I think us as fans are believing, and maybe the owners are believing that this manager knows what he's doing.
Yeah.
And trust his sort of judgment in players. And I think what he's done, Arteta, is he's made a very strong case to the board. Like, I know what I'm doing.
Yeah, believe in me.
So, if they do anything in this January and something big, then it's like you know, leave him alone. Stop having a go at him.
Yeah,
I think we've got to leave him alone now. To be honest with you, for a while, because there's no doubt that
he's being backed.
They give 150 million, which I didn't think was enough for the whole team.
No, it was about what they did going forward, though, weren't it? It was about what they did in the summer, and if they could try and do something in January, which is always hard, but they're trying.
Yeah, that's a good point as well. You know, this is January we're talking about as well. It's very, very difficult. Players halfway through a season, you know, halfway through contracts, or in that 18-month type of area of their contracts, in that pre-contract agreement, type of place. So it's all very complicated, January.
Yeah.
But as you say, we've got to hold our hands up. I wanted to see, like you, I wanted to see, if the backing come on in January in the summer, then that's when I'd look at the Kroenkes a little bit differently. And I've got to hold my hands up. They're doing it.
They are. They definitely are. Mikel Arteta, as you said, he's got to be getting he's earned the trust of the owners now. Yes, there was the Williams. Yes, there was. I can't really think other than the William. I'm trying to think. People will dig out Cedric, but I don't mind Cedric. He costs £2 million. He coming to do a job. He's now brought in Tomiyasu to replace that Bellerin. After they saw that William wasn't working. I mean, Steve, you told me well early doors, within a few weeks, that William had said to Edu and Arteta that he didn't think it was the right move. And what did they do? Yeah. From then on, they were trying to get him out the door. And it's hard. Look, if it weren't for William, it'd still be here because he took a massive pay cut. So you've got to respect that of William. Again, maybe a player with the right mentality.
And when he came in, Kieran, as well, we was quite happy.
I was excited about William. Honestly, I watched the last 6 months of him at Chelsea, and I thought, Chelsea must be kicking themselves that we've got him. We've got William now. First game against Fulham, I was like, yeah, decent, very decent. Just that was it. Didn't happen after that.
Yeah. He just didn't fit, did he? What did he get? We got him for a free, didn't we? Okay, as you say, he was on big wages, but big up to William. He cut his contract short and left, and he didn't ask for any money. So we have to hold our hands up to William. To be fair, he done us a big favour in the end. It just didn't click at Arsenal, did it? And sometimes that happens. It happens.
Yeah. I don't know if anyone can see the comment section, but it's a bit like when the players on the pitch, they've got the old radios on. I'm going back old school. They've got the old radios on. They're hearing through rumbles from the crowd that Comoros have won 3-2 against Ghana. It's party time back at the Emirates Stadium. Welcome back, Thomas Partey. Yes, come get that private jet. Do not borrow Aubameyang's private jet because that has delays.
And he's still got a bit of COVID he might have, so he don't want to catch him that.
His brother Willie's the pilot as well, so you don't want to get on that flight anytime soon. All right.
I just feel sorry for Spurs now that I think it's out of order that we have to play Tottenham now with our strongest, one of our close to our strongest side. I mean, I know it's out of order, and the rules are the rules, but
has it been rescheduled yet? It hasn't, has it?
No, I don't think so.
It's not been rescheduled yet.
They wanted Tottenham. Antonio Conte. He wanted to play Arsenal with half a team, which is which I think gives.
Of course, it
says a lot, doesn't it?
Of course, it did. But look, like what Mika Richards said. Mika Richards, just by the way, Ledge. Yeah, he's an Arsenal fan. I don't care what anyone says. He's a 100% an Arsenal fan because he was backing Arsenal on every single channel that he was on, backing Arsenal. Why, when it's Arsenal, does everyone throw their hands up and kicking and screaming? And he's right. He's right. and then people pulled up the documentation of why Tottenham's game against Leicester was cancelled, of why all these other games were cancelled, and all of them said from injuries, suspensions, players at AFCON, and I can't remember what else. So other teams have done it as well. So I don't want to hear none of it. Let's quickly go to the comment section before we go. Johnny's saying, this is tough, boys, trying to make relevant points. Typing fast while you're still the same debate. At this rate, I could get a job as a PA, albeit a bad one. Yeah, I've seen some of your predicted text. You're blaming it on predicted text, Johnny. Terrible, mate. Terrible. Thomas Partey back at Arsenal from AFCON without missing the Premier League. Another Mikel Arteta masterclass. Honestly, if he does this, this is brilliant. This is brilliant. He's now has to isolate for 3 months. He better not do. He better not do. Johnny, I'm not going to be saying that last one, mate. I'm trying to keep it at least 12. You know what I mean? At least.
We could see it, and yeah.
That's what we're saying. No, don't trust me. I feel it, Johnny. I feel it. I'm just practicing for when we can monetize, and I can't be saying these things. You know what I mean? So, all right. Thank you as ever. The comment section is buzzing. We've got Glenn 10 in there. We've got Johnny in there. We've got Calesto. Calesto, we're getting you on. I don't care what you say, 100%. So, thank you for joining us, people. Thank you for everyone that's smashed the like, but I'm not seeing enough likes, so smash it more. I want to see more of them likes smashed. And press that subscribe button because I know we've got some new faces in here. Yeah, and every time I've said that, we seem to get another sub. So, I'm going to keep on saying it. I'm going to say it another 60 times, and then we're going to hit that magic 1K mark, people. Press that share button so we can get there quicker as well. Don't make me start shouting, all right? I appreciate it, but come on, let's get moving, all right? Thank you very much. Thank you very much for joining us tonight, Steve.
Cheers, mate. Pleasure.
Oh, give us a quick score prediction for Thursday. No pressure.
Oh.
Hey, I want your score predictions in there. Glenn 10, Calesto, Johnny. Who else is in there? I want your score predictions as well. Come on.
I think we need to score 2 because I think they'll get 1, and everybody's going to say to me, you picked 2-1 again. But I'm going to go 2-1, and I'm going to go Smith Rowe, and I'm going to go Kieran Tierney.
Oh, Smith Rowe, Kieran Tierney. They are some random picks, but I like it.
You get good odds for that, Steve.
Very good odds for that.
Yeah,
all right, Jerome, who are you going for?
I think we'll win on penalties.
I was going to say that.
I'll take that.
But I think the thing is though, away for that to happen, does that mean that it's got to be 0-0? Like, do you know if away goals count at all after?
No, they don't count.
Anything like that?
They don't count. Away goals don't count.
Right.
Did they not take? Yeah, I think they took that away, didn't they?
Yeah. No, away goals don't count.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, away goals.
Right, cool.
I don't like that. And the thing is, the away goal rule was brought in years ago to stop teams from just outright sitting back away from home, not going for a goal. Like it's not the same anymore. Like teams go for it. Like teams realise the benefit of getting that, just having the away goal and the home advantage. It's not necessarily as an away goal. It's getting that goal away from home, not having that as like, if we get a 0-0 draw, we're going to win at home, because it kind of balances itself out. Like,
No. If you've seen Tom Hardy in the Craze, it's a shootout.
It's no try. What does he say? I can't even say what does he say? What does he say?
I try to think now. It's one of them ones I just keep rewinding because it's brilliant.
You're going to come to a Western and you bought come for a shoot hat. A good old-fashioned Western.
What's that, didn't he?
A good old-fashioned Western. You know? Great film.
Great film, yeah.
All right. And Johnny's Coletto's gone for a 1-0 win. Another Benjamin masterclass. What do you call him? Benny Blanco. I like it. And Johnny's gone for a 2-1 Arsenal win. What we used to do. All right. Thank you for joining us tonight, Steve.
Cheers, mate. Pleasure.
And thank you for joining us tonight, Jerome.
Yeah, cool. Cheers. Thanks.
All right. As I always say, I'll say it again. Smash that like. Smash that subscribe. Go and follow us on Twitter. Go and follow all these guys. Go and follow the Transfer Exchange as well so you can get the latest Arsenal news. You can hear whether Vlahovic is going to Arsenal. You can see if the after Melo deal's going down. All right? Best in the business. Peace out, people. Appreciate the love. Stay safe. Can't find the button. And wash your hands.